Is my screen visible?
No.
Mhm.
A very good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to yet another session of Test Reading Club. Today, as we are doing from last some weeks, are going to continue with the reading of The Way of the World, a play by William Congreve. Today, you're going to enjoy some good and candid conversation in the Act 4 of The Way of the World. And definitely, some laughs are too on the way. So, without taking much of your time, let's get started.
Act 4, Scene 1. The previous scene continues. Lady Westford and Foible.
Is Sir, is Sir Roland coming, says the foible, and are things in order?
Yes, madam, I have put waxes lights in this course and placed the footmen in a row in the hall, in their best liveries, with the coachman and postilion to fill up the equipage.
Have you pulled the coachman and postilion, that they may not stink of the stable when Sir Roland comes by?
Yes, madam,
And, well, how do I look, foible?
most killing well, madam.
Well, and how shall I receive him? And what figure shall I give his heart the first impression? There is a great deal in the first impression. Shall I sit? No, no, I won't sit. I'll walk. I'll walk from the door upon his entrance, and then turn full upon him. No, that will be too sudden. I'll lie. I'll lie down. I'll receive him in my little dressing room. There is a couch. Yes, yes, I'll give my first impression on a couch. I won't lie neither, but loll and lean upon one elbow, with one foot a little dangling off, jogging in a thoughtful way. Yes. And then as soon as he appears, start and be surprised, and and rise to meet him in a petty disorder. Yes. Oh, nothing is more alluring than a levee from a couch in some confusion. It shows the foot to advantage and furnishes with blushes and recomposing airs beyond comparison. Hark, the quotes here.
It is he, madam.
Oh dear, oh dear, has my nephew made his addresses to Milament? I ordered him.
Sir Willful is set into drinking, madam, in the parlour.
Odds my life. I'll send him to her. Call her down, Foible. Bring her hither. I'll send him as I go. When they are together, then come to me, Foible, that I may not be too long alone with Sir Roland.
Scene 2, Mrs. Millamant, Mrs. Fainall, Foible.
Madam, I stayed here to tell your ladyship that Mr. Mirabelle has waited this half hour for an opportunity to talk with you, though my lady's order were to leave you and Sir Willful together. Shall I tell Mr. Mirabelle that you are at leisure?
No, what would the dear man have? I am thoughtful and amuse myself. Bid him come another time. There never yet was woman made, nor shall but to be cursed. There never was woman made, nor shall but to be cursed. That's hard.
You are very fond of Sir John Suckling today, Milaman, and the poets.
I,
Milam,
He, I, and fill the verses. So I am.
Sir Willful is coming, madam. Shall I send Mr. Mirabelle away?
if you please, Foible, send him away or send him hither, just as you will, dear Foible. I think I'll see him. Shall I? Let the wretch come. Thyrsis, a youth of the inspired train. Thyrsis, a youth of the inspired train. Dear Fainal, entertain Sir Willful. Thou hast philosophy to undergo a fool. Thou art married and hast patience. I would confer with my own thoughts.
I'm obliged to you that you would make me your proxy in this affair, but I have business of my own.
Scene 3. To them, Sir Willful.
Oh, Sir Wilful, you are come at the critical instant. There's your mistress, up to the ears in love and contemplation. Pursue your point, now or never.
Yes, my aunt will have it so. I would gladly have been encouraged with a bottle or two, because I'm somewhat wary at first before I'm acquainted. But I hope after a time I shall break my mind, that is, upon further acquaintance. So for the present, cousin, I'll take my leave. If so be you'll be so kind to make my excuse, I'll return to my company.
Oh, fie, Sir Wilful. What? You must not be daunted.
Daunted? No, that's not it. It's not so much for that. For if so be that I set on it, I'll do it. But only for the present. 'Tis sufficient till further acquaintance. That's all, your servant.
I'll swear you shall never lose so favorable an opportunity. If I can help it, I'll leave you together and lock the door.
Scene 4. Sir Willful Milament.
Nay, nay, cousin, I have forgot my gloves. What do you do? Shut. Has locked the door instead, I think. Nay. Cousin Fainal, open the door. Pshaw, what a vixen trick is this? Nay, now has seen me too, cousin. I made a bold to pass through as it were. I think this door is enchanted.
I prithee spare me, gentle boy, press me no more for this light toy.
Nan, cousin, your servant.
That foolish trifle heart, so willful,
Yes, your servant. No offense, I hope, cousin.
I swear it will not do its part. Though thou dost thine, employs thy power and art, natural, easy suckling.
Nan, suckling? No such suckling neither, cousin, nor stripling. I thank heaven I'm no minor.
Ah, rustic, ruder than Gothic.
Well, well, I shall understand your lingo one of these days, cousin. In the meanwhile, I must answer in plain English.
Have you any business with me, Sir Willful?
Not at present, cousin. Yes, I made bold to see, to come and know if that how you were disposed to fetch a walk this evening. If so be that I might not be troublesome, I would have sought a walk with you.
A walk? What then?
Nay, nay, nothing. Only for the walk's sake, that's all.
I nauseate walking. It is a country diversion. I loathe the country and everything that relates to it.
Indeed. Ha! Look you, you do. Nay, 'tis like you may. Here are choices of pastimes and here in town, and plays and the like that. That must be confessed indeed.
Ah, letter D. I hate the town too.
Dear heart, that's much. Ha! That you should hate 'em both. Ha! 'Tis like you may. There are some can relish the town and others can that away with the country. 'Tis like you may be one of those, cousin.
Yes, it's like I may. You have nothing further say to me?
Not at present, cousin. Just like when I have an opportunity to be more private, I may break my mind in some measure. I conjecture you partly guess. However, that as time shall try, but spare to speak and spare to speed, as they say.
If it is of no great importance, Sir Willful, you will oblige me to leave me. I have just now a little business.
Enough, enough, cousin. Yes, yes. All a case. When you're disposed, when you are disposed. Now as well as another time, and another time as well as now. All once for that. Yes, yes. If your concerns call you, there's no haste. It will keep cold, as they say. Cousin, your servant. I think this door's locked.
You may go this way, sir.
Your servant. Then, with your leave, I'll return to my company.
Aye, aye. Like fever sung the no less amorous boy.
Scene 5. Mrs. Millamant, Mirabelle.
Like Daphne, as lovely and as coy. Do you lock yourself up from me to make my search more curious? Or is this pretty artifice contrived to signify that here the chase must end, and my pursuit be crowned, for you can fly no further?
Vanity, no. I'll fly and be followed to the last moment, though I'm upon the very verge of matrimony. I expect you should solicit me as much as if I were wavering at the gate of a monastery, with one foot over the threshold. I'll be solicited to the very last, nay, and afterwards.
What? After the last?
Oh, I should think I was poor and had nothing to bestow if I were reduced to an inglorious ease and freed from the agreeable fatigues of solicitation.
But do not you know that when favors are conferred upon instant and tedious solicitation, that they diminish in their value, and that both the giver loses the grace and the receiver lessens his pleasure?
It may be in things of common application, but never sure in love. Oh, I hate a lover that can dare to think he draws a moment's air independent on the bounty of his mistress. There is not so impudent a thing in nature as the saucy look of an assured man confident of success. The pedantic arrogance of a weary husband has not so pragmatical an air. Ah, I'll never marry unless I am first made sure of my will and pleasure.
Would you have them both before marriage? Or will you be contented with the first now and stay for the other till after grace?
Ah, don't be impertinent, my dear liberty. Shall I leave thee, my faithful solitude, my darling contemplation? Must I bid you then adieu? Adieu, my morning thoughts, agreeable wakings, indolent slumbers, all ye ye somede mathi, adieu. I can't do it. It's more than impossible. Positively, Mirabelle, I lie abed a morning as long as I please.
Then I will get up in the morning as early as I please.
Ah, idle creature, get up when you want. And do you hear? I won't be called names after I'm married. Positively, I won't be called names.
Names?
I, as wife, spouse, my dear, joy, jewel, love, sweetheart, and the rest of the nauseous cant in which men and their wives are so fulsomely familiar. I shall never bear that, good Mirabelle. Don't let us be familiar or fond, nor kiss before folks, like my Lady Fadler and Sir Francis, nor go to Hyde Park together in the first Sunday in a new chariot, to provoke eyes and whispers, and then never be seen there together again, as if we were proud of one another the first week, and ashamed of one another ever after. Let us never visit together, nor go to a play together, but let us to be very strange and well bred. Let us be as strange as if we had been married a great while, and as well bred as if we were not married at all.
Have you any more conditions to offer? Hitherto your demands are pretty reasonable.
Trifles, as liberty to pay and receive visit to and from whom I please, to write and receive letters without interrogatories or wry faces on your part, to wear what I please and choose conversation with regard only to my own taste, to have no obligation upon me to converse with wits that I don't like, because they are your acquaintance or to be intimate with fools because they may be your relations. Come to dinner when I please, dine with my dressing room when I am out of humor without giving a reason, to have my closet inviolate, to be sole empress of my tea table, which you must never presume to approach without first asking leave. And lastly, wherever I am, you shall always knock the door before you come in. These articles subscribed. If I continue to endure you a little longer, I may be degrees dwindle into a wife.
Your bill of fare is something advanced in this latter account. Well, have I liberty to offer conditions? That when you are dwindled into a wife, I may not be beyond measure enlarged into a husband.
You have freely proposed your utmost. Speak and spare not.
I thank you. Imprimus then, I covenant that your acquaintance be general, that you admit no sworn confidant or intimate of your own sex, no sea friend to screen her affairs under your countenance, and tempt you to make trial of a mutual secrecy, no decoy duck to wheedle you a fop scrambling, the play in a mask, then bring you home in a pretended fright, when you think you shall be found out, and rail at me for missing the play, and disappointing the frolic, which you had to pick me up and prove my constancy.
Detestable imprimis, I go to the play in a mask.
Item, I article that you continue to like your own face as long as I shall, and while it passes current with me, that you endeavor not to new coin it. To which end, together with all wizards for the day, I prohibit all masks for the night, made of oily skins, and I know not what, hog's bones, hare's gall, pig water, and the marrow of a roasted cat. In short, I forbid all commerce with the gentlewomen in what do you call it, code. Item, I shut my doors against all boards, with baskets and pennyworth of muslin, china, fans, atlases, etc. Item, when you shall be breeding,
Ah, name it not.
which may be presumed with a blessing on our endeavors.
Odious endeavors.
I denounce against all straight lacing, squeezing for a shape till you mold my boy's head like a sugar loaf, and instead of a man-child, make me father to a crooked billet. Lastly, to the dominion of the tea table I submit, but for proviso that you exceed not in your province, but restrain yourself to native and simple tea table drinks, as tea, chocolate, and coffee, as likewise to genuine and authorized tea table talk, such as mending of fashions, spoiling reputations, railing at absent friends, and so forth, but that on no account you encroach upon the man's prerogative, and presume to drink health, or toast fellows, or prevention of which I banish all foreign forces, all auxiliaries to the tea table, as orange brandy, all aniseed, cinnamon, citron, and Barbados waters, together with ratafia and the most noble spirit of clary. But for cowslip wine, poppy water, and all domitives, those I allow. These provisos admitted, in other things I may prove a tractable and complying husband.
Oh, horrid provisos, fill these drunk waters. I toast fellows, odious men. I hate your odious provisos.
Then we are agreed. Shall I kiss your hand upon the contract? And here comes one to be a witness to the sealing of the deed.
Scene 6. To them, Mrs. Fainall.
Fainall, what shall I do? Shall I have him? I think I must have him.
Ay, take him, take him. What should you do?
Well then, I'll take my death. I'm in a horrid fright, Fainall. I shall never say it. Well, I think I endure you.
Fie, have him, and tell him so in plain terms, for I am sure you have a mind to him.
Are you? I think I have. And the horrid man looks as if he thought so too. Well, you ridiculous thing, you. I'll have you. I won't be kissed, nor I won't be thanked. Here, kiss my hand though. So hold your tongue now. Don't say a word.
Mirabelle, there's a necessity for your obedience. You have neither time to talk nor my mother is coming, and in my conscience, if she should see you, would fall into fits and maybe not recover time enough to return to Sir Roland, who, as Foible tells me, is in a fair way to succeed. Therefore, spare your ecstasies for another occasion, and slip down the back stairs where Foible waits to consult you.
I go. In the meantime, I suppose you have said something to please me.
I am all obedience.
Scene 7. Mrs. Millamant, Mrs. Fainall.
Yonder Sir Willful's drunk and so noisy that my mother has been forced to leave Sir Roland to appease him, but he answered.
But he answers her only with singing and drinking. What they may have done by this time, I know not, but Petulant and he were upon quarrelling as I came by.
Well, if Mirabelle should not make a good husband, I am a lost thing, for I find I love him violently.
So it seems, for you mind not what's said to you. If you doubt him, you had best take up with Sir Willful.
How can you name that superannuated lover for?
Scene 8. To them Whitwood from drinking.
So, is the fray made up that you have left them?
Left them? I could stay no longer. I have laughed like 10 christenings. I am tipsy with laughing. If I hadn't stayed any longer, I should have burst. I must have been let out and pieced in the sides like an unsized camlet. Yes, the fray is composed. My lady came in like a nally prosecute and stopped the proceedings.
What was the dispute?
That's the gist. There was no dispute. They could neither of them speak for rage, and so fell sputtering at one another like two roasting apples.
Scene 9. To them Petulant drunk.
Now, Petulant, all's over, all's well. God, my head begins to whim it about. Why dost thou not speak? Thou art both as drunk and as mute as a fish.
Look, you, Mrs. Millamant, if you can love me, dear knave, say it. And that's the conclusion. Pass on or pass off. That's all.
Thou hast uttered folios in less than decimo sexio, my dear Lacedaemonian. Sirrah, Petulant, thou art an epitomizer of words.
Whitwood, you are an annihilator of sense.
Thou art a retailer of phrases, and thou deal in remnants of remnants, like a maker of pincushions. Thou art in truth, metaphorically speaking, a speaker of shorthand.
Thou art, without a figure, just one half of an ash, and Baldwin yonder. Thy half-brother is the rest. A zeminy of ashes split would make just four of you.
Thou dost bite, my dear mustard seed. Kiss me for that.
Stand off. I'll kiss no more males. I have kissed your twin yonder in a humor of reconciliation, till he rises upon my stomach like a radish.
Filthy creature, what was the quarrel?
There was no quarrel. There might have been a quarrel.
If there had been words enough between them to have expressed provocation, they had gone together by the ears like a pair of castanets.
You were the quarrel.
Me?
If I have a humor to quarrel, I can make less matters conclude premises. If you are not handsome, what then? If I have a humor to prove it, if I shall have my reward, say so. If not, fight for your face the next time yourself. I'll go slip.
Do wrap thyself up like a woodlouse and dream revenge. And hear me, if thou canst learn to write by tomorrow morning, pen me a challenge. I'll carry it for thee.
Carry your mistress monkey a spider. Go flee dogs and read romances. I'll go to bed to my maid.
He is horridly drunk. How came you all in this pickle?
A plot to get rid of the night. Your husband's advice, but he sneaked off.
Scene 10. Sir Willful, drunk. Lady Westford, widowed. Mrs. Millamant, Mrs. Fainall.
Out upon it, out upon it, at years of discretion and comport yourself at this 20-fold rate.
No offense, aunt.
Offense, as I'm a person, I'm ashamed of you. For how you stink of wine. Do you think my niece will ever endure such a Boratio? You are an absolute Boratio.
Boratio?
At a time when you should commence an armor and put your best foot foremost.
Shut. And you grudge me your liquor? Make a bill, give me more to drink and take my purse. Prithee fill me the glass, till it laugh in my face, with ale that is potent and mellow. He that whines for a lass is an ignorant ass, for a bumper has not its a fellow. But if you would have me marry my cousin, say the word, and I'll do it. Willful will do it, that's the word. Willful will do it. That's my crest, my motto I have forgot.
My nephew is a little overtaken, cousin, but it's drinking your health. Oh my word, you are obliged to him.
In vino veritas, aunt. If I drunk your health today, cousin, I'm a Boratio. But if you have a mind to be married, say the word and send for the piper. Willful will do it. If not, dust it away. And let's have t'other round. Tony Yod's heart. Where's Tony? Tony's an honest fellow, but he spits a bumper, and that's a fault. We'll drink and we'll never have done, boys. Put the glass then around with the sun, boys. Let Apollo's example invite us. For he's drunk every night, and that makes him so bright that he's able next morning to light us. The sun's a good pimple, an honest soaker. He has a cellar at your antipodes. If I travel, aunt, I touch at your antipodes. Your antipodes are a good rascally sort of topsy-turvy fellows. If I had a bumper, I'd stand upon my head and drink a health to them. A match or no match. Cousin with the hard name, Aunt Willful will do it. If she has her maidenhead, let her look to it. If she has not, let her keep her own counsel in the meantime and cry out at the 9 months' end.
Your pardon, madam. I can stay no longer. Sir Willful grows very powerful. How he smells. I shall be overcome if I stay. Come, cousin.
Scene 11. Lady Westford, Sir Willful, widowed. Mr. Widowed, foible.
Smells? He would poison a tallow chandler and his family. Beastly creature, I don't know what to do with him. Travel, quote, I travel, travel, get thee gone, get thee but far enough to the Saracens or the Tartars or the Turks, For thou art not fit to live in Christian commonwealth, thou beastly pagan.
Turks? No, no Turks, aunt. Your Turks are infidels, and believe me, not in the grape. Your Mohammedans, your Mussulman is a dry stinkard. No offense, aunt. My map says that your Turk is not so honest a man as your Christian. I cannot find by the map that your Mufti is Orthodox, whereby it is a plain case that Orthodox is a hard word, aunt. Greek for claret. To drink is a Christian diversion, unknown to the Turks or the Persians. Let Mohammedan fools live by heathenish rules and be damned over teacups and coffee. But let British lads sing, crown a health to the king, and a fig for your Sultan and Sophie. Ah, Tony!
Foible whispers to Lady Westford.
Sir Roland, impatient, good luck. What shall I do with this beastly tumbrel? Go, lie down and sleep, you sot, or as I'm a person, I'll have you bastinadoed with broomsticks, call up the wenches with broomsticks.
Hey, wenches? Where are the wenches?
Dear cousin Whitford, get him away, and you will bind me to your inviolability. I have an affair of moment that invades me with some precipitation. You will oblige me to all futurity.
Come, knight, pox on him. I don't know what to say to him. Will you go to a cock match?
With a wench, Tony? Is she a shake bag? Sirrah, let me bite your cheek for that.
Horrible. He has a breath like a bagpipe. Aye, aye. Come, will you march my Salopian?
Lead on, little Tony. I'll follow thee. My Antony, my Tantony. Sirrah, thou shalt be my Tantony, and I'll be thy pig, and a fig for your Sultan and Sophie.
This will never do. It will never make a match, at least before he has been abroad.
Scene 12. Lady Westford, quite well disguised as Sir Roland.
Dear Sir Roland, I am confounded with confusion at the retrospection of my own rudeness. I have more pardons to ask than the Pope distributes in the year of Jubilee, but I hope where there is likely to be so near an alliance, we may unbend the severity of decorum and dispense with a little ceremony.
My impatience, madam, is the effect of my transport until I have the possession of your adorable person. I am tantalized on the rack and do but hang, madam, on the tenter of expectation.
You have excess of gallantry, Sir Roland, and press things to a conclusion with most prevailing vehemence. But a day or two for decency of marriage.
For decency of funeral, madam, the delay will break my heart. Or if that should fail, I shall be poisoned. My nephew will get an inkling of my designs and poison me. And I would willingly starve him before I die. I would gladly go out of the world with that satisfaction. That would be some comfort to me, if I could but live so long as to be revenged on that unnatural viper.
Is he so unnatural, say you? Truly, I would contribute much both to the saving of your life and the accomplishment of your revenge. Not that I respect myself, though he has been a perfidious wretch to me.
Perfidious to you?
O Sir Roland, the hours that he has died away at my feet, the tears that he has shed, the oaths that he has sworn, the palpitations that he has felt, the trances and the tremblings, the ardors and the ecstasies, the kneelings and the risings, the heart heavings and the hand grippings, the pangs and the pathetic regard of his protesting eyes. Oh, No memory can register.
What? My rival? Is the rebel my rival? Her dies.
No, do not kill him at once, Sir Roland. Starve him gradually, inch by inch.
I'll do it. In 3 weeks, he shall be barefoot. In a month, out of knees with begging and arms. He shall starve upward and upward till he has nothing living but his head, and then go out in a stink like a candle's end upon a save all.
Well, Sir Roland, you have the way. You are no voice in the labyrinth of love. You have the clue. But as I'm a person, Sir Roland, you must not attribute my yieldings to any sinister appetite or indigestion of womanhood, nor impute my complacency to any liturgy of continence. I hope you do not think me prone to any iteration of nuptial.
Far be it from me.
If you do, I protest I must recede, or think that I have made a prostitution of decorum. But in the vehemence of compassion and to save the life of person of so much importance,
I esteem it so.
or else you wrong my condescension.
I do not. I do
Indeed,
not.
you do.
I do not. Fair shrine of virtue.
If you think the least scruple of casualty was an ingredient,
Dear madam, no. You are all camphor and frankincense, all chastity and order.
or that,
Scene 13. To them, foible.
Madam, the dancers are ready, and there is one with a letter, who must deliver it into your own hands.
Sir Roland, will you give me leave? Think favorably, judge candidly, and conclude you have found a person who would suffer wrack in honor's cause. Dear Sir Roland, and will wait on you incessantly.
Scene 14. Whitwell and foible.
Fee? Fee? What a slavery have I undergone? Spouse, hast thou any cordial? I want spirits.
What a washy rock art thou to pants just for a quarter of an hour's lying and swearing to an fine lady?
Oh, she is the antidote to desire. Spouse, thou wilt fare the worse for it. I shall have no appetite to iteration of nuptials this 8 and 40 hours. By this hand, I had rather be a chairman in the dog days than act Sir Roland till this time tomorrow.
Scene 15. To them, lady with a letter.
Call in the dancers, Sir Roland. We'll set, if you please, and see the entertainment.
Dance.
Now, with your permission, Sir Roland, I'll peruse my letter. I would open it in your presence because I would not make you uneasy. If it should make you uneasy, I would burn it. Speak if it does. But you may see the superscription is like a woman's hand.
By heaven, Mrs. Murwood, I know it. My heart aches. Get it from here.
Foible to Whitwell.
A woman's hand? No, madam, that's no woman's hand. I see that already. That's somebody whose throat must be cut.
Nay, Sir Roland, since you give me a proof of your passion by your jealousy, I promise you I'll make a return by a frank communication. You shall see it. We'll open it together. Look you here. Reads, Madam, though unknown to you, look you, there, it's nobody from I know. I have that honor for your character that I think myself obliged to let you know you are abused. He who pretends to be Sir Roland is a cheat and a rascal. Oh heavens, what's this?
Unfortunate, all's ruined.
How? How? Let me see, let me see. A rascal and disguised and suborned for that imposture. Oh villainy, by the contrivance of.
I shall faint. I shall die. Oh,
Say it is your nephew's hand. Quickly, his plot. Swear it.
Foible says to Waitwell.
Here is a villain, madam. Don't you perceive it? Don't you see it?
too well, too well. I've seen too much.
I told you at first, I knew the hand, a woman's hand. The rascal writes a sort of large hand. Your Roman hand, I saw there, was a throat to be cut presently. If he were my son, as he is my nephew, I had pistoled him.
Oh, treachery, but are you sure, Sir Roland, it is his writing?
Sure, am I here? Do I live? Do I love this pearl of India? I have 20 letters in my pocket from him in the same character.
How?
Oh, what luck it is, Sir Roland, that you are present at in this lecture. This was the business that brought Mr. Mirabelle disguised to Madame Milamant this afternoon. I thought something was contriving when he stole by me and would have hid his face.
How? How? I heard the villain was in the house indeed, and now I remember. My niece went away abruptly when Sir Willful was to make his addresses.
Then, then, Madam, Mr. Mirabelle waited for her in her chamber, but I would not tell your ladyship to discompose you when you were to receive Sir Roland.
Enough. His date is short.
No, good Sir Roland, don't incur the law.
I care not for law. I can but die. And this in a good cause, my lady shall be satisfied of my truth and innocence, though it cost me my life.
No, dear Sir Roland, don't fight. If you should be killed, I must never show my face or hang. Oh, consider my reputation, Sir Roland. No, you shan't fight. I'll go in and examine my niece. I'll make her confess. I conjure you, Sir Roland, by all your love, not to fight.
I am charmed, madam. I obey. But some proof you must let me give you. I'll go for a black box which contains the writings of my whole estate and deliver that into your hands.
Ah, dear Sir Roland, that will be some comfort. Bring the black box.
And may I presume to bring a contract to be signed this night? May I hope so for?
Bring what you will, but come alive. Pray, come alive. Oh, this is a happy, happy discovery.
Dead or alive, I'll come and married. We'll be in a spite of treachery, and get an heir that shall defeat the last remaining glimpse of hope in my abandoned nephew. Come, my buxom widow. Yea, long you shall be substantial proof receive that I am an arrogant knight.
Or errant knave.
So, this brings us to the end of Act 4. We hope that you liked it as much as we enjoyed the reading. Do let us know that what are your suggestions about this session, and feel free to join our club, and don't forget to leave a comment in the comment box so that we can tell you what is the way to join our club. So with the promise to meet you the next week, goodbye. Stay safe, stay home.